Hi, welcome back to Crochet Creations and episode number 44. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Chris, and I'd like you to grab a cup and sit back and relax. Enjoy today's podcast. I have a lot of whips. I have some things to share from the Facebook group, and I also have some finishing, as you may see in the room. Although Claire's just cold, so I threw a sweater on her, so that way, there'd be something on her because I didn't have anything. And that sweater is one I did last year. In fact, I think I finished it during my Vlogmas last year, which would have been in December. I have a little bit of that cinnamon, the creamer that Linda sent me. I thought I'd try it today, and it's a lot more cinnamony than the coffees, and I like it. It's very good. I thank her again for sending me that. Normally I start off with Christy's Closet D-Stash, so I'm going to do that. Last week we had 8 skeins of this beautiful knitting yarn. It's a 3 light. It doesn't really have any name brand on it. The winner was drawn, and she also gets one of my signature stitch markers in a green. So that was claimed, and the new D-Stash is up. If you'd like to try and win these, pop on over to my Facebook page. Everything I talk about today will be linked below, and if it's not, just send me a little message and say, hey, you said you were going to link that. And I'll get on it. This is the yarn for this week's D-Stash. This is a bulky 5 Deborah Norville Serenity. It's by Premier. Both of these are the same colorway, which is called Cattails. You also get one of my stitch markers. So just pop on over to the Facebook page, hit the announcements tab. All the shenanigans will show up that's going on over there. And I don't always talk about every single one of the things that's going on in every podcast, because there's so many that if I'm doing something or if I have progress on something, I'll talk about that's a make-along. But I don't always say all of them. So that's the D-Stash. And I have notes in front of me this week because I don't want to forget anything. I would like to remind you that this Saturday will be our next Hook and Stitch Live. That is done with Kim, the Crafty Nomad, over on her channel. It is Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and at 9 a.m. Pacific. And we're doing we're doing a make-along is what we're doing. It's a Stitch in Time make-along. It's a vintage one. And so your patterns need to be at least 25 years old or that look like they're vintage, like a doily, or just figure out something that is vintage, either the yarn you're making, the pattern, something like that. It can be anything that has stitches in it. It can be sewing, loom knitting, crocheting, tatting, just about anything that has stitches. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a random progress, a drawing from the progress photos from my post in my announcements tab. And this Saturday we'll have another winner for that. So if you'd like to join us, you don't have to be present to win. So like I said, there's lots of make-alongs over there, and there might be something else that you might like to enter. In fact, for Halloween, which some of you don't celebrate Halloween, and I understand that. And so the Halloween the trick-or-treating all it is counting, guessing how many pieces of candy are in the bowl. It's not really to do with Halloween. So if you'd like to go over and see what that's all about, again, it's on the announcements tab. You just have to guess how many candies are in the dish, and you're going to end up with 6 numbers. This is going to be just like my lotto, but we already know what the numbers are. So you're just guessing to see what they are. And I have a box of treat bags all made up, and as you can see, they all have yarn in them. So that's kind of fun, and that will be live in the group on Facebook in the group on Thursday the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't have to be present to win. However, if you are present to win, you're going to be able to pick what bag you want as they are left. How exciting! I am just thrilled. Last year I did a Halloween trick-or-treating and it was fun. So that's what I'm doing this year. If you have any questions on any of the make-alongs or the crazy stuff going on over there, please, there are moderators to help you if I'm not available to answer your questions right away. If you do enter something in something and it is not appropriate or it doesn't fall into that category, it will be deleted because there are so many entries that I just take them down. You can't put hats in more than one thing. There's a hat make-along. It's a year-long make-along. Okay, so we're going to go on and I'm going to show you some of my works in progress. It's going to take a while, so sit back and enjoy. I do have things all around me. I'm going to start out with the cow. I have a cow blanket and I have it in Knit Companion. So you can open Knit Companion up on your phone or on your iPad, and you can keep track of where you are in a crochet item pattern also. So this is the pattern that I'm working on. It is a blanket that actually opens up to a regular blanket, but it has the head and the tail and the feet of the cow. And this pattern I found on Ravelry, and I downloaded it into Knit Companion so I could keep track of the pattern rows, because it's done in a graph. So I have it here in my El Grey bag, and I'm using a huge Stitch Studio by Nicole for the base color. This is a 4 medium. I got it at AC Moore. They are no longer selling this. I don't think. You might be able to find some of this on Premier's website, but or Michael's or somebody. I don't know. One of them. Hirschner's maybe. But I don't know what ones. This is the actual Studio Classic, and it's really, really soft. It has a halo. Yep. For 100% acrylic. And these come in 744 yards. So it's plenty enough to do this blanket with. Then the other colorway is the gray, elephant gray, I believe is called. And that is a pound, Lion Brand Pound of Love. And what I've done is I've taken it and made little cakes, because again, you have your color. It's like a bobbin. So I'm going to show you how far I am today. Last time I showed you I was on row 12. I am now on row 28, and that is using a J, and a J, and it looks the same on both sides, so I'm kind of I'm kind of proud of that, seeing that I've never done a Grafgan before. And then, of course, I have to add in amigurumi head. So, last time somebody asked me about washing it, I think, not sure. Yes, yeah, they did. And a couple of people said that they have made many stuffed animals and dolls for children and have stuffed them with stuffing that they um, say is washable, and that all you do is just give it a little um, squish it, and it bounces right back. So I figure that we should be okay with the head for that to be washed. And then I may or may not stuff the feet, because I'm thinking, well, if they're floppy, it's not really going to matter. But we'll see. We will see. So the next thing that I have to show you is that I started designing uh, a scarf. I just was taking different stitches and going ahead and, you know, mixing fiber flux type of yarn, type of pattern with some other stuff. And what I was doing it with is Lion Brand Scarfie in this. Oh my gosh, look at the colors. How nice this setup is now. I'm really liking this. I am kind of in the middle of the room, but the light is far enough away so it's not right in my face. This one is called Mint Silver, and I hadn't bought this before, and then after I bought it, I'm like, I want to use it, but what do I want to use it for? So then I decided I would just start a scarf, and I would just do my stitches the way that I felt them come up. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a pattern that is open lace, but every other row is different. This one is a cluster. This one is a puff stitch, and then back to the cluster, and then back to the puff stitch. So it's definitely coming out with a different kind of pattern. And with the gradient, oh my gosh, how pretty. So I was working on that, and it was something that I could just take with me and not have to think about once I started it. And then it ended up going to sleep for a week or two, and it was just about about 2 weeks ago when I'm looking to see what my next thing is. When I got some orders, and I got a couple more orders than I already had some orders. So somebody asked me if I would make a cocoon for someone for Christmas. And I said, well, what colors would you like? And she said that she was kind of like a maroon person. And I said, you want it solid? No, you go ahead and pick something. So I picked the Barcelona in this colorway. Now, if you look, there is a little splotches of pink every so often. But overall, this is really pretty. I really like using Barcelona. This is a bulky 5, and it is loops and threads, sold at Michael's. And this one has 328 yards on it. It's a 7-ounce skein. And I do believe these are 100% acrylic, so it's great for people who are not caring and just throw their clothes in the washer and dryer. Which, when it's an order for somebody like that, you think about it, So I had 2 of them, and I figured that would be enough for the body. And I'm doing a cocoon, so I'm going to pick another color. Now, if you know of a color that will match this perfectly, but is a solid, I want to do the cuffs and the edging and the cuffs in a solid. So I'm looking for a bulky 5. in this, and that will match this. So I started it, and I'm just using my own pattern, and basically what I'm saying is a cocoon is based on a rectangle of the dimensions that you want to end up with. If you want to end up with a small, measure your wingspan and hit about in your elbow to your elbow, and then so I did that. So what's this is going to end up being, now I can almost put my hands out, but that's because she is a big girl and I want to make sure that it fits her. So I started the middle, the body, and that's how the colorway is coming out. And I am doing half double crochet. I started with a half double crochet foundation to get my length, because if you start with a foundation, that's the length, the true length of the item rather than a chain. And so it's not going to stretch out as easily as a double crochet, and it's not as holy, so that's why I prefer to do that. And I'm using a L, and that makes the 5 bulky and the L be a lot drapier, so when you're wearing it, it's not going to feel real thick and heavy. So that is another work in progress that I am now starting to work on a little more, because I have some of the other items done that were ordered. Okay, so now what's the next thing I have? I have a knit hat that I'm working on. My chair still didn't get any. This is in my Tea Doddles mini maker bag. This hat, you've seen this before. And why I'm bringing it out again today is because it is a little bit farther along. I'm using Everyday, Premier Everyday, one of my favorite yarns for hats. This color is called Clay Tone. Clay, like in maybe the dirt in Georgia. And this is 100% acrylic also. These are so soft, all of these. This is an anti-pilling, 180 yards in this, 4 medium. Now I'm starting this one out in a pattern out of this book. It's a Knit Simple book, and it's a very old one. It's a 2012, which is fine. Someone sent it to me, which I'm really glad they did. Okay, so this is the hat, which actually is a hat that you have a tie off. How can the word is not coming to me. It's gathered, it's cinched with with like a chain. You make a chain and then you weave it through the back of the hat, so that way you can have it cinched, you can have a ponytail, you can also wear it as a cowl. So that's why I wanted to do this one, so because it's cinched. But like I said, you can wear it as a cowl when I get done, so we'll see. We will see. And now the weird thing was, and someone mentioned it to me the other day, was that when I read the pattern, it said to use a medium 4, which I am. It also said to start your ribbing out with a 3.25 needle, which I did. Here's your ribbing. Now I did the regular ribbing. It is a twisted ribbing in the pattern, but I figured that for a beginner, I would wait and do the twisted ribbing some other day. So I just did the regular ribbing, and it's beautiful. Then after you're done with your ribbing to your desired length, then you're going to switch and use a 4.0 millimeter needle for the body of the hat. So see how that is a little bit bigger. In fact, it was big enough to make the first row quite tight. And so I've got probably 10 rows in now of the body, not too far. But I also wanted to show this today because I used this yarn and crocheted a hat, because I like to try the yarns in both crochet and knitting now. So I did that, which I will show you when I get to my finished. Okay, so what's the next one? Oh, my sweater. I have a sweater that I started in Spun Colors. Spun Colors is another Premier. You can tell I like Premier yarns, huh? Well, I do. I can't help it. So Spun Colors is in a cake. You know I don't like cake yarns, but oh my gosh, girls. Oh my gosh. This is like hand-painted yarn. That's what this is. It is a hand wash, lay flat to dry. So you're going to have to take care of this if you make something out of it. So this is for me. It's a medium 4. This is 419 yards in a cake and 65 acrylic, 35 fine superwash merino. Beautiful. Can you see the halo? It's a little bit. See, it's just a little bit. But how beautiful. Now, what I did was I took out one of my displays. Sometimes I have cowls or some of the, the short scarves and things like that on a display when I take it to the craft fairs. And I decided that that was the best idea to bring out one of the displays to show how I'm doing on my progress. Here's my collar. This is the back of the sweater. And as you turn, you can see my increases. So you're going to see it a lot better now that I put it on here, because I really can't open it up. So there's your ribbing on each end. This side has buttonholes. It's got one right here, and then 2 to 3 inches down it has another one right there. I may or may not use them, but I put them in, and if I use them, fine. If I don't, so that's a lot easier to see. Now what this is yes, it's a pattern. It's a pattern from Ravelry. I have the pattern here, and I was going to give you the name of it, even though I probably already have, but that's okay. It's Laura Chau, C-H-A-U, Laura. And this is called the Easy Top Down Raglan. And from the picture, it just looks like a sweater. Well, that's because throughout the whole entire sweater, she gives you options. This is where you can do this. This is where you can do that. So as a beginner, it's telling you that it's very easily customizable, which is what I wanted, because I wanted like the collar a certain way, that I thought that this colorway would be the statement of the sweater, the colorway, not what I was doing. So I just wanted a simple stitch. I didn't care what the stitch did, because the colors are going to be all over, and I was right, the colors are. So I'm really excited to have that growing. I'm enjoying the process with that a lot. I'm really liking that. So anybody want to join me and make one of those? It's going to take a while. I'm hoping though that after I get another one of these blankets done, that I can spend a little more time on it. But I only do it at home, because I don't want to make a mistake, because I don't want to have to rip back And I don't do it on knit night either. It gets too crazy in there, and then I make a mistake. Yep. Okay, so I have one more whip I want to talk about. Now, this one is, well, let's see. I am collaborating with Stephanie from Stephanie's Yarn Escape. I'll link her channel below. And her and I have decided we want to try writing pattern. Or we want to do something together that, you know, we made up a pattern. So we are making up a pattern. And together, we don't want to reveal it yet, of course, but together we've decided that she's going to do it one way and I'm going to do it another way. So there's two ways that you can do the same pattern. So that's going to be fun. We are doing this for the month of November. Hopefully we'll have our items done by then that we can show you. The rest of the make-along has not been ironed out yet. So the only thing that I have today to show you, and I can't show you much, is the yarn that I picked out for my item. I'm not going to show you anything else or tell you anything more about it. But I picked out Stitch Studio by Nicole, which is also from AC Moore, in this beautiful colorway with tweed. It's an earth tone. I had a couple of opportunities to get some of this before they went out of business and saved them up, and this is the perfect project for this, I think. It is a 4 medium, and I have a little bit of viscose and 95% acrylic. They come in 612 yards, so if you get a chance to get any of this, say from a marketplace or an estate sale, you need some of this in your life. I'm telling you. I love the color, and I love all of the colors. I really do. I got enough of it to enjoy it, I hope, for a little while. So that is what I'm using for my pattern with Stephanie. We are very excited about that. We're crazy excited. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to pop in here real quick was that I stopped back at the dollar store, and I know this isn't an addictions video, but I just wanted to real quick say that I found some more of that Aran in a different colorway. This is the gray, so I got some more, and I'm planning on some reviews with this. I'm going to use this for hats and stuff and see. That's why I got some more of it, because I gave it away. But while I was there, they had put out a tray of cotton, and they put out every color. So what I did was I bought 2 of every color, and these are the ones I'm keeping. The rest of them are going in the Halloween contest. So if you don't have a chance to get just cotton from the Dollar Tree, then by all means come play my Halloween game, and maybe you can win some. So that was one thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, so let's go on to, oh yes, the next things are my finishes. Alrighty then. So last week I finished a little black dress, and every now and again I think of what I'm doing on Happy Scrappy. Happy Scrappy is a year-long make-along that I'm collaborating with Christy at Tea Doddles with. And this month is October, and it's my month, and it is pretty much spooktacular. And so if you have any orange yarn laying around, which I did, and any black and orange together would make for Halloween colors, but I was dumb. So here's where you find out that I don't rip things out that often. A lot of my mistakes, I will just keep going and keep creating until I'm happy with it, and then it's done. I don't rip it back. And one of the things was I had this Karen Simply Soft Party left over from my little black dress, and it was sitting there, and I'm like, I probably should just make some booties with it or something. So I started the booties, and I got to a certain point, and I said, I want to add this color to the top of the booty. So I'll show you the back. So there's the booties, and they are cute, very cute. But then my whole plan was to doll them up for Halloween. So I took the orange pumpkins and I put them on there, and I went, oh, that's terrible. What am I going to do? It was horrible. So they ended up getting dolled up with little dog faces. So that's the booties. And they are 3 to 5 months approximately. They're slippers, but not for the walking child, younger. So they're just would go good for a Halloween pictures or whatever. They'll be in my Etsy shop available, or if you just want them, just text me and they're $12. So anyway, that was fun. A mistake. I didn't like the fact that no buttons matched, none at all. Yeah. So okay, this chair definitely needs help. Definitely. So happy Scrappy Yarn Challenge. The link will be below. That is using your scraps, and that's what that is scraps. So I thought, well, why not? So if you haven't entered that, that's exciting. This month the prizes are 2 beautiful hanks of knit crate in a bright spooktacular orange color. Okay, all right, get on with it. Okay, well, I finished some washcloths, and I was using this gorgeous, now see, you can see all the colors now. It's so pretty. This is a gorgeous print from I Love This Cotton at Hobby Lobby. I got quite a few of these now. I just love this color. It's called Delicate, and it's green and speckled. So I did a knit pattern. This one, these are for my new grandchild. So I did them in I Love This Cotton. So this is a knit one. It's called the Ryan, and it is from Smell Great Guy at what's his name, Ross. Smell Great Guy. So I will link this pattern below. And then I didn't stop there. As you can see, I still have some left. I made one in the crochet pattern that just came out. Creative Grandma just made this one, and it's called the Farmhouse Washcloth. See that pattern? See the colorway? How beautiful. So these are for my granddaughter. So those, I just quick did those at lunchtime and stuff. Now the knitted one took longer, but this one is quick, and I mean quick. You could even use these for scraps because it doesn't take much. So I think I might even try to get another one out of here, of those, I don't know, crocheted one probably. All right, so that was that. Where am I? Okay, I'm on to the hats and more. Another crochet along I have been running as a yearly crochet along, and this one I just talked to you about the premiere in the clay tone every day. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. Now this hat I just finished. This one is a Bag O' Day hat. This is 513, and I just like doing this pattern, and I thought it would look really nice in this tonal, clay tonal. I did single crochet ribbing for approximately 6 rows. Like she suggests, it is a slight slouchy. You can put a pom-pom on these and they do look good, but look at that. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful tone and beautiful pattern for it? Depending on the way that you like to wear your hat, it will sit different ways, but this hat is beautiful. It does fit me. It's not too tight. It's not too loose. Now, a lot of times I will add a button on these, like a star or a heart-shaped wooden button or just anything, because a lot of people like to see those. This time I did not. This hat came out so nice. It's really nice. This will be in my Etsy shop shortly. It is not in there yet. If anyone likes any hats and wants them a different color, I do take custom orders also. Not that any of the makers want to know that, but I figured I'd throw that in. Okay, and then I'm getting down there. My last finish for the day is the blanket in the room. Okay, so somebody wanted a whale blanket, and everyone knows that I was working on this for a while, not too long, and I made some whale booties first because that's what she asked for, and I finished the blanket. So one of the things that I had done is I had taken this blanket pattern that I make all the time. I had half of it started, and then someone ordered this, and I thought, you know what? I've already got that started. Let me ask her what she thinks. So I went ahead. It is in my Leisure Arts pamphlet. It is number 8, and it's this pattern right here. I am making this one also, but I did not put any rows on it, so I didn't bring it out today. Okay, so the edging ended up being blue, and it is in the Kai, K-A-I, Kai. You get that from Michaels. However, I'm thinking it might be discontinued, but this Kai was the stripes on the blanket. So I figured I would bring the color out and make it look like waves or water. And I think it kind of does. Alright, so then I made Jada and Stitches whales. And I put the whales all over and made them touch the blue to make it look like they're touching the water. So here is finished blanket. And there is probably 7, I think, whales. And I did make 1 or 2 that ended up being variegated, like this one and this one, because I ran out of the dark blue, and this one is half and half. So what I did was I made some of them going this way and turned their tails up, and some their tails are down, like that one, and just overall made them different so that the baby could see them and they were contrasting to the white. So it's all done. It's going to be off to its new owner tomorrow or the next day. She said she was going to pick it up, so I'm all excited about her seeing it in person. Everything I've talked about today I will link below, so that way if you girls want to make it too, that you know where I found the links. And I hope you will join Kim and I on Saturday. We'll be together for Hook and Stitch Live on her channel. I will link that below, and I hope you have a great creative week, and I will see you in the next addictions video, which shouldn't be long. Talk to y'all later. Bye now.